Have you been experiencing internal financial struggles triggered by economic concerns? Are you feeling capped at your current income level and can't seem to realize your financial potential? Energy healer Jean Border has created an emotional freedom technique, or EFT, tapping protocol to help calm the inner voice that keeps you stressed. Claim your free copy at jeanborder.com/vow and say goodbye to those financial blockages. Welcome to another episode of the Focused Practical Dreamer's Journey podcast, Energy Work to Better Your Business, hosted by energy healer Jean Border. It's not just about dreaming, it's about making those dreams a practical reality. Subscribe to us via your favorite network by visiting our website at www.focusedpracticaldreamer.com. Now, get ready. Your journey to success starts here.
Hello, everyone. It's your host, Jean Border, with another episode of the Focused Practical Dreamer's Journey podcast. Today is going to be a little bit different than what you've gotten from me the past few weeks or months, because this is going to be a solo episode. There's a lot going on in the United States right now, and I feel led to address some ways you might be able to calm down yourself and your central nervous system in order to feel a little bit more calm and take rational action, strategic action for your home, your life, your entertainment, and your business decisions. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone, if you're having some financial issues in your world, there is an EFT tapping protocol that's available for you. Just go to the link below, jeanborder.com/vow, VOW, to download a PDF that will teach you, talk you through an EFT tapping sequence. You may or may not need that. You may or may not be aware that it might help calm you down a little bit before you make any decisions that might be weighing on you a little bit, okay? Also, if you need help, I'm here. But that's a free resource. Go ahead and grab it, jeanborder.com/vow, VOW, if you're having financial concerns, okay? It won't change your situation. It will just calm your nervous system down enough that you can look at your situation from a place of calm rather than a place of tension. And that's always a better place to make a decision from. Okay, so today I want to talk about something I'm going to refer to as collective anxiety. Tensions in the United States are very high. I'm also involved in some groups outside the U.S., and I see the same types of tensions manifesting in different ways in other countries. And so I'm just gonna refer to it as a collective anxiety. I've never put a label on things because I don't really like labels, but that's a descriptive phrase that I think will help, is general enough that will help you get the point. In my experience, when things happen in a specific city, it can create negative or positive energy. I'm all about energy. You know that I'm an intuitive healer. I'm big on being aware of the power you bring to any situation, your personal life, your business meetings, your family social interactions. You get to decide how you will show up, right? But sometimes you just feel distracted or you feel overwhelmed. And you're not really sure why, because everything seems to be going okay, but you're just not quite there. You feel a little bit off. You feel a little bit like maybe I'm supposed to be somewhere else. Yeah, this is nice, but I should be enjoying it more. All these weird thoughts that could be going through your head. We are humans. We are influenced by people around us, the emotions they're experiencing, the vibration they're giving off. When you're in their presence, you can be imbalanced by their frequency, their emotional state, right? I've had this discussion with you guys many times before. There's a Beach Boys song called Good Vibrations. When you walk into a room, there are people you're drawn to. The vibration that they're giving off is something that you feel comfortable being around. There are other people, you go there near them and you just veer off because something about them says, not right now. And it's a defense mechanism internally, whether you're aware of it or not, to protect you from something that is not perhaps in your best interest at the moment. We are humans with emotions that change from moment to moment, second to second, but we are influenced by the vibrations of people and things and events around us. So if you're in that kind of situation, with me, everything is a 3-step process. First, you become aware of what the heck is going on, right? Then you focus on what's right and what's wrong. Where am I now and where do I want to be? How do I want to feel? What do I want to accomplish? And then you take an action. In business, we call it strategic action, right? You get a strategy together, you decide, that's the big word, you decide that it's within your power to do something to change your emotional state about a situation, and then you take that action. So just 3-step process. But the first part of it is awareness, and we don't always pay attention. Sometimes we allow ourselves to just be drawn into whatever's going on around us. And the more people who are drawn in without stepping back and saying, wait a minute, is this really the best way to go about this situation? Is it really in the best interest of me or my family or my business to react in this manner rather than deciding what action would be of benefit? Sometimes we just have to step back and say, let's slow our roll. Let's decide. When a lot of people get together, there's this phenomenon that has been referred to in the past as mob mentality. If someone else is doing it, it becomes more okay if I do it. Even if I was on my own, I wouldn't do it. But if I'm with other people and they're doing it, well, it must be all right. And so we allow our logical brain to go on vacation, and we just feed off the emotions of the people around us. I'm the logic person. Yes, I'm an intuitive healer. And so I deal with emotions all the time, right? There is this idea that 80%, they say more, but I'm a conservative in that regard. And I'm going to stick with 80%, I'll say, or more, of all dis-ease within your physical body can find its roots in emotional issues that you've experienced in the past, and a piece of those experiences stuck with you for whatever reason. So you're carrying emotions that are influencing you today. That's the part of the experience that I like to help people with, right? Is figure out what the heck is causing you to repeat those patterns. What the heck allowed you to forget who you are, who you've decided to become, and revert back to something from the past that may not be serving you now or may not be leading you toward the future that you desire, right? But this mob mentality is really hard to get away from sometimes. And so we see some people doing something or saying something, and we fall right in and repeat what we've heard without even knowing if it's true or not. Well, they said it must be right. No, it must not be right. What I believe is different than what the person next to me believes, is different than what the person next to them believes. No two people on this planet believe absolutely everything absolutely the same way. Doesn't work. We're humans with different experiences, different beliefs, different histories. Yes, we have some commonalities. My favorite color may be blue. It may be a certain shade of blue. Even if I find a whole room full of people and I only allow people in whose favorite color is blue, if you put various shades of blue in front of them, they're not all going to go towards the same shade of blue. So now if I eliminate everybody who only likes my shade of blue, now I ask, who loves to be in the water? Anybody who doesn't love to be in the water, get out of my room. See, I'm shrinking my world. And of those people, who have ever dived out of a plane and survived? And if you haven't jumped out of a plane, get out of the room. Now, how many of you have only jumped out of a plane tandem with somebody attached to you so that they could help control your movements? If you've only jumped out of a plane tandem, get out of the room. So now I'm left with a room with people whose favorite color is blue, the exact shade that I like, who love the water, love being in the water, who have jumped out of an airplane solo. See, I keep shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. I can keep asking those types of questions, and I can keep shrinking my world until I focus on, okay, we all have this in common, so let's focus on that. That's what happens a lot with labels. I'm going to back up a little bit here because I am an intuitive healer and I focus a lot on physical issues, right? What could emotional causes of physical issues be? When people have medical issues and it's been going on for a while, they feel alone. And sometimes they just want somebody to say, I understand. I believe you're experienced in this because I've had that sort of a similar experience. And so when enough of those people can get together, the medical profession will sometimes create a descriptive label for that issue. Get enough people to say, I'm always tired, I'm always exhausted, I feel like I'm moving through mud. Well, eventually, since the doctors don't know what's causing it, but enough people have those kind of symptoms, they might call it, well, you have chronic fatigue syndrome, which means you're tired all the time, right? And so these people get together and they no longer feel alone and they feel validated. And that is so understandable. I get that. But the label can have a downside. The label can now, well, all 10 of us have chronic fatigue syndrome. And yours looks a little bit different than mine. So if you've got this symptom, I'm going to get that symptom probably. And now your subconscious gets used to the idea that, oh, that's normal for people with that label to have that symptom. So it's okay to create that symptom for you. So you feel like, relief. I'm validated. That's the negative side of a label. Had you not heard of that experience, your subconscious might not, it might have, but might not have been predisposed to start looking for that symptom and finding proof. Oh, here, see, here it is. Here it is. here it is. You've experienced it 3 times. Now you've got that symptom. And so it makes you feel more comfortable, right? The same thing happens with mob mentality. It's different, but it's similar, right? I'm trying to get the point across. In the United States, we've got a lot of political stuff going on. And it's having the impact of the room with the blue people who love the water, who have jumped out of an airplane by themselves. That idea is what is happening in the United States and in some other countries that I'm familiar with. You believe like I believe, or you're wrong and I'm right. And I'm going to exclude you. And it's happening again very overtly, where friends are no longer friends because they don't believe exactly what their previous friend believes about a certain situation, not about all situations, but a certain situation. The differing beliefs is ruining a friendship. It's also impacting businesses. On this show, we talk a lot about how energy work impacts not only your personal life, but also your business decisions. When we allow ourselves to fall into the trap of this type of laser focus of looking for whoever doesn't totally believe what I believe is wrong, is stupid, shouldn't be allowed to live, whatever you've heard people say, that drains your power. You give up your power. Personal power is everything. It determines choices you make. It determines the confidence level that you have. It determines the momentum you're going to give to a specific project. Your decisions become biased. I'm going to use that word, biased. You're biased against people who do not believe the way you do, who have not had the experiences that you've had, who might just be more middle of the road and seeking information. But they don't get your point immediately. They don't jump on your bandwagon, whatever it is. And therefore, they're to be cut out of your world and treated as an enemy. That is so sad. That is so sad, to give away your personal power, to give away your thoughts to someone else, to something else, to some cause. And the other part to that is that's what you're teaching those around you. You are defining yourself by a specific issue. And if that's your choice, you want to live your life based on one specific issue, more power to you. Make sure it's a choice. People try to ask all the time leading questions about what I like and what I don't like. Whatever you choose to do is perfectly fine with me, as long as you're not hurting someone else. That's not fine with me. When you teach your children based on bias that violence is fine, that's not okay with me. If you justify violence with, oh, they're standing up for their principles, that's not okay with me. Every bully in the world is standing on their principles. That is their power. That is their choice. That is their soapbox. Are you being a bully? I don't know. Social anxiety, what I'm calling social anxiety, feels like overwhelm sometimes. I don't know what else to do, so I'm just going to follow along, and I don't know why I feel this way, but something isn't right. Sometimes your brain just keeps going and won't stop. It gets stuck on whatever issue is out there. Right now, it happens to be politics. Next week, it might be money. The next week, it might be something else, right? But we create this social anxiety. And it can, when it gets severe enough, it can turn into that mob mentality that makes violence and destruction of personal property, destruction of private businesses. A few years ago, riots became the norm in the U.S. And it was justified as, well, we're righting the past wrongs. It didn't right anything. It created division. It destroyed some people's livelihoods. It destroyed so many small businesses. It destroyed citizens' belief that their leaders had the citizens' best interest at heart. When the leaders have a personal agenda and they skew their actions towards one political group versus another, that's not in the citizens' best interest. Are you making that situation better? Are you making it worse? It's your choice. You can choose to be a part of change in a way that's positive, or you can choose to go along with whatever's happening just because, well, at least they're doing something. Long term, is that good or is that bad? Business-wise, what should a leader do? In a family, what should the leaders or the parents typically do? What example should they be giving the people who look up to them? Should they be going along with whatever's happening when, from a logic point of view, it will not change what is? Is there another action they could take that might actually impact what's currently going on? That's what a leader looks for. A manager just follows along whatever protocol is in place. A leader steps back and says, what can I do to create a situation that's beneficial, that will move us in the direction that is best? Where do you fit in that? When you start to feel so overwhelmed and your energy drops, sometimes decisions suffer. Sometimes decisions don't even get made. Sometimes that can feel like something the medical profession would call depression. But I'm not going to call it depression. I'm just going to call it the why bother syndrome. Why bother doing anything? Nobody's going to listen to me. It's not going to impact anything. It's not going to change anything. I'm stuck here. And then the apathy, which allows us not to feel the negativity that's out in the world. I'm going to throw this out there because I think it's interesting. When I go to different cities, cities have their own energy. For those of us who feel energy, it's an interesting experience. If you go to New York City, everything is high energy. Just imagine people all excited for whatever reason, whether it's they're excited about the money situation, they've got to get to the whole stock market thing, or they're excited to go to a show on Broadway, or the gardens, going to the gardens, whatever it is, there's an excitement. The tourists coming in are seeing New York City for the first time. It's an excitement. It's a certain vibrational level that the city carries. You go to Washington, D.C., and it's a totally different energy level. It's power. It is that's how it feels to me. Everybody's got their own description. Everybody feels things differently. For me, Washington, D.C., the district, feels like power. Decisions are made there that affect the entire country, right? You go to California and it's a totally different feel out there. You go to certain cities, I'm going to say San Francisco because a lot of people have been to San Francisco, totally different feel. It's not even an energy that relates at all to those other two cities that I gave you. Very interesting. I've been to Alcatraz. Oh my gosh, the old prison island, right? The energy in this place is just so different. When you walk into a room with people who share your beliefs and who are focused on a specific goal, what does the energy feel like to you? And maybe it's just a mental thing. Maybe you walk into a room and everybody in there is angry. And so your vibration changes, your energy level changes. Maybe you walk into a room and everybody who, again, is part of your peer group, maybe they're all hyper-focused on something, a project. It's got a deadline, got to be done. Your energy ramps up, typically, to match theirs. Whether you agree with their decisions or disagree, your energy level ramps up. If you're in a family situation, which is, there's a whole lot of different dynamics going on there. Same type of deal, though. If it's something, if everybody's happy, having a family meal, happy, enjoying themselves, your energy feels a certain way. Your body feels a certain way. Your thoughts go a certain way. That's how energy works. But when they get mad, oh my gosh, you ramp up either to get mad or to get out. Because you got to keep yourself safe. Everything we do is filtered through the lens of, is this safe? And sometimes we go to a place of apathy because taking action would make us not feel safe. Where are you? Are you taking constructive action? Are you following along with the crowd? Even though you wouldn't do it if you were by yourself, but everybody else is doing it, so I'm going to join that crowd over there and do that. Are you allowing violence to enter your world when you wouldn't normally? It might be in your best interest to step back and see what decisions you have made or have put off making that are having a direct impact on today. Are you engaged in your world? Do you know where you are and where you want to be? Are you focused on where you want to be, or are you focused on the past? Are you focused on actions you can take to move you to where you want to be? Are you focused on the news, which exists to create ratings, not to create joy in your world, not to help you at all, just to be able to get more sponsors, sell more commercials, make more money, get more viewers, get more commercials, make more money, get more viewers, make more commercials, make more money. Everybody has an agenda. What is the agenda of the person or the group you're following? Is it in line with your agenda? Or is it just kinda, and you're going along? Decide. You got to decide. Personal power is everything. Take back your personal power to heal, to grow, to lead your best life. I'm all about personal power. Don't give yours away. Once you start giving it away, you start to lose parts of yourself. That's my soapbox. I'm all about personal power. The whole collective anxiety thing, the impact it's having on your personal body, your home life. Because if you're saying it's what you're seeing on TV is okay, your kids are picking up on that. If you're saying that bullying somebody because they're standing on their principles is okay, that's what you're teaching your kids. So when they bully people at school, You have no leg to stand on to tell them, oh, you can't be a bully, when you've just shown them that you value people who are bullies on TV. You are the leader. You are the role model. What kind of a role model are you being? When you get into those situations where you're just so upset and there is nothing you can do in the moment to control it, for those of you who are into EFT tapping, my suggestion is just do a quick round of tapping. Even if you say nothing, your body knows that you're upset. Just focus on that upset and do a round of tapping, which will allow your central nervous system to begin to calm down. Walk away from whatever you're saying. If that's possible, or walk away, walk away. If you're watching TV 24 hours a day, maybe cut it back a little bit, right? Are you really seeing anything new on the news, or is it a regurgitation of something that's inflammatory to your sense of what's right? Just be aware, right? You're allowing things to influence you, and if that's your choice, great, go for it. But make sure you're aware that it is your choice. Your reaction is your choice. And if you need a little help, I'm here. That's my soapbox. You know exactly how I feel about all kinds of things. I'm getting close to 100 episodes now, so you know me pretty well. Let me just show you the tapping points for those of you who are watching, and I'll mention them out loud for those who happen to be listening on Apple or Spotify or wherever you're listening from. Okay? So the first tapping point is right on the inside corner of your eyebrow. We call that the eyebrow point. So we're just going to tap there a few times. And if you're already upset, just tap. But if you need to calm down a little bit and you're in the middle of an issue, you can say this issue, right, as you're tapping. Tap at least 7 to 10 times on each of these points. And the next one is the side of the eye. And just exactly where it says, the side of the eye. Say, this issue that's got me so upset. And then you repeat that. This issue that's got me so upset. And then the next one is under the eye, right under, if you're looking straight ahead where your pupil is, that bone right there, just tap on that. This issue that's got me so upset. And the next one is under the nose, which is like between your lips and your nose, that part right there, I call it under the nose. I'm just so upset about this. And then the next one is the chin. This has just got me so, you can say whatever emotion comes to mind. This is an emotional based technique. So whatever emotion comes up, worried, upset, angry, frustrated, whatever it is, just say, insert that word. I'm just so, whatever. Next one is the collarbone point. There's a bone right there. You know, if you go from your mouth, go straight down towards your chest and then out either side. You can do tapping with the left or the right hand. It doesn't matter. Some people do it with both. From a scientific point of view, there's no extra benefit to doing both hands. They've done studies on it. Most people use their dominant hand. I switch off, so it doesn't really matter. They both have the same impact on the nervous system. But the collarbone point, I'm just so frustrated at this. The next one we're going to do is under the arm. On a female, it's where the bra strap would be, right? And you're just tapping underneath there. I'm just so frustrated at what's going on. And then the last one is the top of the head. There's so many points up there that are calming, right? So just the top of the head, not all the way in the back, but closer to the front, but at the top of the head. If you had a string going out the top of your head, look at it that way, right? I'm just so upset at what's going on in the world today. Okay. So I'll go through them very quickly since I did a lot of explanation during that. Eyebrow point, side of the eye, under the nose, the chin, collarbone point, under the arm, top of the head. And if you forget, grab that PDF that I talked about earlier. They're all the points are in that PDF with an explanation, with a diagram that shows you where they are, jeanborder.com/Val. And I think I've been on my soapbox long enough. So at this point, I'm going to wish everyone a great week. As a reminder, we drop new episodes every Tuesday. If you have any questions, drop me a line, jean@jeanborder.com. You can go on my website. There's a microphone. You can leave me a message if you don't like to type. Just click on the microphone and leave me a message. And hope you have a great week. Until next time.
We trust you enjoyed this episode of the Focused Practical Dreamers Journey podcast. Energy work to better your business. Hosted by energy healer Jean Border. Remember to visit our website at www.focusedpracticaldreamer.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Focused Practical Dreamers Journey.